Okay, this is a reading for Sagittarius. Let's see who you were in a previous life. Okay, you were involved in some kind of revolution. As a proletariat, wealthy elite, there could have been a war or an uprising or a reign of terror. You had a love that was very promiscuous. Your identity was other relative. You were part of the age of discovery. You died by public execution. The lesson that you learned was in overcoming fear. This all happened in Russia. The trauma that you experienced was betrayal. Your faith was prophet-led. In another life, you were a servant, okay? Either a servant that did housework, a servant that did childcare, like a nanny or an au pair. There could have been indentured servitude or something else. I'm not sure what indentured means. I'll have to Google that. I don't like not knowing things. Your faith was ascetic. You had a love obsession with somebody. You were someone's husband. This was in the early modern age. The lesson you learnt was in gluttony. You died from dementia. This was out in Africa. The trauma you experienced was abandonment. Okay, that's just a blank one. I got you one more. We keep getting blanks. Now I think these were made so in case I wanted to put things on myself. I'm just going to put them to the side. I shouldn't have put them in the deck. Unless Spirit's trying to tell us something. Maybe you're going to live 2 more lives that we don't know about yet. One more, please. Spirit's like, all right then, let's times it by 4. Ooh, ritual sacrifice. You could have been a ritual priest, a cannibal, a human sacrifice, or a headhunter. Ew. That is grisly. This was during the age of discovery. The lesson you learnt was in overcoming fear. You died by public execution. This was in Russia. You experienced a trauma to do with betrayal of some sort. Your faith was prophet-led. You were some kind of relative, okay, some kind of other relative. That was your identity. We've got injustice. There was some kind of injustice towards you in a previous life. You were the victim. You could also have been the perpetrator. It could have been payback or revenge for something. There could have been an injustice that was overturned. This happened in Eastern Europe. You died by murder. The trauma that you experienced was poverty. In love, you experienced abandonment. The time frame for this was the High Middle Ages. The lesson that you learnt was in greed. Okay, we have group living. A tribe, a commune, a cult, or a monastery. So you did fall in love, but you were separated by distance. You were a guru or idol. The lesson that you learnt was in forgiveness. You died by suicide. The location is Southern Europe. You were Gnostic or dualistic faith. Okay, we've got beauty. In a previous life, you were the town beauty, a femme fatale. You had struggles with your appearance, or you could have been a prostitute. Okay. Your location was on an island. The trauma you experienced was persecution or torture. You believed in a faith that was polytheistic. You were a young male. There was an abuse of technology. That's the lesson that you learned, was an abuse of technology. You died in an accident. Okay, with nature worship. You may have believed in animism, pantheism, druidism, or Franciscan mysticism. In love, you were deceived or betrayed. You were somebody's grandchild. This was in the pre-Columbian Americas. The lesson you learned was in prophecy and gifts. You died of starvation or dehydration. In Asia, the trauma you experienced was a guilty conscience, and the faith that you were in, you were forced to convert to. Okay, it was a forced conversion. Wow, you had a lot for that one, Sagittarius.